You're going to believe the Israeli government? We know that the Israeli government wants Iran off the face of the earth, and you're going to believe them, and you don't think they're conflating their intelligence to get us in war? Let's go to Al. Al is next up on PTL. What's up, Al?
Hey, Brian, thank you for taking my call. Okay, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think you can. We're on YouTube. Yeah, so listen, first of all, the guy who had the argument against Kamala because she's a woman, that was weak. You know, and I'm a conservative. That was weak. That was uncalled for. I want to say that. The thing is that I'm going with Netanyahu. I think he's right when he says that Iran is a terrorist nation.
You're going against Al. Hang on. So you're going against our own intelligence and Tulsi Gabbard, then?
Well,
when you say you're going, when you
go. That's a good point. That's a good point.
So why doesn't Donald Trump fire Tulsi Gabbard then?
Maybe she will get fired.
No, she won't.
I don't know.
No, she won't. He won't.
Okay.
No, she won't. Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. said Trump wanted to end wars when he was running for office again. Tulsi Gabbard, under oath, said that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, but also said Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. So you're saying you agree with the Israeli government and you agree with their intelligence, but you disagree with the United States intelligence under Donald Trump.
Well, I'm not really saying that. Okay, I'm not really saying that. What I'm saying is Iran has a history of being a terrorist nation because let me give you my reason. They could have used all their oil money to help build their country and make it an economic power.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Do you think North Korea is a terrorist nation? Would you define them as a terrorist nation?
I think North Korea is not. I don't know if you can compare the two, but I don't think they're putting the best interest of their citizens.
So why don't we go to war with North Korea then? Is Russia a terrorist nation? Vladimir Putin and his regime, are they a terrorist nation?
Yeah, I think they
are. I agree. Why are we not at war with Russia then? Based on your standards, if you're a terrorist nation, we should go to war with you.
Some people feel that we are. Some people feel that we are at war with Russia.
We're not at war with Russia. We have not put troops on the ground there. We have not bombed Russia. Anybody who says that is not, it's just completely not true. Listen, I'm not defending Iran and their government, but Al, our own intelligence, we've been hearing this, Al, hear me out, for 30 plus years about Iran's nuclear capabilities. No president has decided to do this. Our own intelligence is telling us that no, they are not furthering their nuclear capabilities, but you're going to believe the Israeli government? We know that the Israeli government wants Iran off the face of the earth, and you're going to believe them, and you don't think they're conflating their intelligence to get us in war? Come on, Al.
I think there's a possibility. I think there's a possibility of that, but I do believe that, unfortunately, I do believe that hold on. Don't go anywhere. Hold on a second. My Bluetooth timed out. I do believe that Iran has a history of being a terrorist nation, and we have to keep them in check.
Okay.
And unfortunately, maybe Trump is going too far on this.
So Russia has a history of being a terrorist nation. We haven't gone to war with them. Donald Trump isn't going to be nuking Russia. North Korea has a history of being a terrorist nation and an evil, murderous regime. We haven't gone after them. The point I'm trying to make, Al, is just because you are a nation that is a, quote, terrorist type nation with an evil dictator doesn't mean that we can be involved in wars all over the world. The guy who you voted for said he would be a peaceful president and he wouldn't get us into any new wars. Are you willing to say on the air right now that he lied?
Brian, I am so sorry. My Bluetooth timed out.
Okay. Let's forget about your. Okay. I'll ask the question one more time, Al. Donald Trump ran on the fact that he would be a peaceful president and he wouldn't get us into any new wars. MAGA Nation loved it. Then all of a sudden, he got us into a new war. Did Donald Trump lie to you, Al? You're still a supporter. You voted for him. Did Donald Trump lie?
I think Donald Trump has not kept 100% of his promises. I totally agree. I'm not going to be a hypocrite.
Okay.
In this case, I don't really think we're in a war. I agree that. So you don't think we're in a war? I do not agree with okay, let me say something about the ICE thing. You know, and I'm Hispanic and I'm a conservative. Okay, and I believe in closed borders. I do not support from going into businesses.
Al, hang on. This is important. Hold on, Al. So bombing a country that doesn't pose an imminent threat to the United States without approval by Congress, which is required by the Constitution, that's not war.
Okay, well, let me tell you something else.
What, can you answer
This
me?
is really interesting.
That's not
Okay,
war?
no. Okay, no, that's not war, and I'm going to tell you why. Let me give you my reason. I didn't know this, but in 1910, 1913 area, U.S. sent Pershing into Mexico to go look for Pancho Villa without the approval of Congress. Go look that
Al,
one up.
if another country decided to bomb the United States of America in the way that we bombed them, would you not call that an act of war? If another country bombed the United States of America with their artillery, would you not call that an act of war? Yes or no?
It depends. I don't, and based on the history of our country, I would have to say no for the following reason. Pancho Villa went and attacked the U.S. in New Mexico, and then we retaliated without going into war.
Let me get this right. So if another country, let's just say hypothetically speaking, North Korea, decided to bomb the United States of America and bomb some of our nuclear sites, you mean to tell me that you would say it's not an act of war? Is that what you are saying?
It's an act of war. It's an act of war, but it doesn't necessarily mean we're in a war if we retaliate. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's an act of war, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is a war. Al, did you just hear what you just said? Or
it could be taken as an act of war. You know, was 9/11, or were we in a war? Were we at war with whoever was behind it?
Of course we were. We went to war. We went into Afghanistan. We tried to destroy Al-Qaeda. And then I would imagine another guy who you supported and voted for because you're a staunch conservative, George W. Bush, got us into an ill-advised war in Iraq, and it was a complete debacle. Of course we were in a war in Afghanistan. That's not even a question. If you bomb another country, it's a war.
Okay, well, there you go. So
all right.
There was, in our history of America, when Pancho Villa came and attacked New Mexico, President, I forget what his name is.
That's not what's going on here.
I think it was Woodrow Wilson.
That's not.
Woodrow Wilson went and said Pershing, that's the guy who fought in World War I.
I don't want to talk, with respect, Al. With respect, Al, I don't want to talk about Woodrow Wilson. I'm trying to talk about what's happened today. And I am shocked that you would say this is not an act of war when we literally have bombed Iran, and Iran has now come right back at us trying to bomb some of our sites, military sites in other parts of the world. Iran could now be targeting U.S. government officials if it believes the Iranian regime's survival is at stake, according to the DHS intelligence bulletin. So for you to say that we are not at war is beyond ridiculous, Al, with all due respect.